Hello. Hopefully the lighting isn't too weird with the window open behind me and my actual light on me. Um, Hello. Oh my gosh. Do I didn't really mean to go on like a hiatus for like however long I did, but it just kind of happened. With like a busy schedule and other things, and I gotta put my glasses on. I recorded a few videos, um, just of like random things you know, and then I tried to edit in, a different app. Like, I usually use CapCut, but I tried to use a different app and it didn't work. And I wasn't able to upload the video anywhere else, so it was kind of sad, but now I just got ready for work, so I'm just like chilling. I'm waiting for my nails to dry. And I figured why not like actually film something and I'm gonna edit it for real and post it for real. And one day I will not be wearing this shirt when I film a video or a TikTok. I feel like I wear this a lot and people are just kind of like, but maybe no one cares. I was hoping my bag would be around because I really want some like chapstick right now. But okay. Okay. Hello. Hey, feeling very millennial-esque. Oh my gosh. I have a I have things to say. I have things to talk about. I don't have like um a lot, but I do just want to be like transparent about things in my life. Um I'm a person I feel like people who are friends with me won't believe this because it's really not true, but I'm a person who tries to keep most things in my life private. Like if I'm going through something horrible, I try to keep most of it private because nobody give a fuck and I don't want nobody to give a fuck. Like um I just I mm. And so more recently I've been more mindful with like whenever I'm going through like a hard time or something like that. I try not to like post about it as much when I'm going through it because when you're going through something like emotionally like crazy, I think I personally feel more inclined to over dramatize the situation and then post a bunch of stuff that's like everything's so awful, blah 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 blah, and then people are like, "Oh my gosh, like is it really this bad?" And then you look back the next day and you're like, "No, I was just at the height of like what the frick is going on." Um and so that's kind of where I've been, and I've been at the height of like what? Um and then I also don't like to post. Again, it's like people who are close to me probably are gonna be like, girl, you're lying. I don't like to post about like really good things either. Like, I posted when I got into college, and that was it. But I don't like to post about like, when I think good things are going to be happening to me. For example, like getting a new job, or like I didn't post when I was going to interview for a job. I like I keep a lot of memories on Snapchat just cuz like I'm really cheap and I don't like to pay for storage space on my phone, but I do. I don't know. So I keep things like very private to me. Like I'll take a picture of myself and type like about to go interview at blah blah blah, and then I'll just save it and not post it. That way like I can see it, and I think it puts a lot of pressure on me personally to like if I post like, oh, I'm interviewing at blah blah blah, then people are gonna be like, how did it go? How'd the interview go? Did you get the job? Are you looking for another job? And it's just like I don't want that. If again, I feel like my friends are gonna watch this thing and be like, girl, you post about everything, but really I feel like maybe I don't. What I post about, I'm mindful-ish. And I say all this as if I have more than like 15 people on my private story, which is really where all of this is happening. Um, One thing I've been dealing with a lot recently is grief, and I do want to share about that just because people, like, if other people didn't share about their grief, I don't think I would know how to handle mine. Just specifically like a few friends who I reach out to when it really like kind of gets me and I'm like, "Hey, I'm in tears. I'm on the way to work. I don't know like how to stop this, what to do. I don't know why I feel this way. I just randomly remembered that someone died and I'm like crying." And I think grief is weird because I haven't lost anyone close to me before this, and now that I have, I think I just kind of like I have very luckily never had anyone or anything like pet wise like die who's been this close to me. And I don't know, I didn't really know what mindset to have going into it. I don't think anybody ever does know what mindset to have going into grief, but I think I kind of assumed for it to be like a breakup. And I know that's a not a good like mentality to have, but I didn't know what mentality to have. You know, whenever I felt the grief of like someone has died, it felt very similarly to like breaking up or being broken up with someone who you loved very dearly. And so I just kind of was like, "Oh, well in the past, I just did a lot of this and that and that and this to like help myself like reconcile and like be okay and like all this." And so I was doing that, you know, for this like moment of grief, but there was still this underlying feeling of like I'm so sad and depressed and I just didn't understand why. And after reaching out to like a couple friends, it's just like that's how grief is, and it kind of sucks. And I couldn't really tell you right now if it gets easier because it's only been 4 months ish since this happened, and it's weird. Like there are some days where I wake up or I go out or I go to school and I just see something or think of something or hear something and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, someone close to me has died and it's affecting me really, really hard." And then there are some days I wake up, I go out, I do something, I see something that makes me think of this person, and I'm like, "Oh, that's so sweet. This means a lot to me. It really brightens my day that I see this form of them like manifesting in like my 3D world." So it really just depends, but I have this I have this habit of like letting everything pile up until like the one thing gets me. Like I was driving to work and I was just thinking, I was like, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I have this going on, and I have that going on, and now this situation, and also I miss my grandpa. And I just burst into tears at the fact that I had maybe finally acknowledged that, and also just at the fact that I had so much going on, and I was a little upset that I didn't express how upset I was with myself before everything started piling up. So I made sure after that to like kind of take a step back and be like, "Okay, what do I need to do in order to truly start processing this?" I think for me personally, grief has been a hard thing to process. Um, like it's just I don't know. I like I said I just talked to my few friends about it, so it's like I don't know how many people feel, if it's just like a national a common thing that like when someone or something dies, you're just like you don't believe it's real. I think I didn't believe it was real, and I'm still struggling to accept the fact that it is real and it is happening, and this is how it's going. There's nothing I can do to change that. There's nothing I could have done to change that. And it's just frustrating, a little complicated. And it's just everything is so much right now, and it has been so much. Um like the idea of moving, I think, is kind of freaking me out a little bit. In many ways, I'm excited and it's a great opportunity, and I'm gonna go do it and I'm gonna see how I feel about it, and it's gonna be really great. And at the same time, it's leaving what's been familiar to me for the past about to be 10 years of my life. And, that's crazy. Like, I know I need to go and do it because I have to get over my fear of leaving. If I don't leave now, I think people struggle to understand a little bit, like, why would you want to leave? Why would you want to leave? If I don't leave now, then I'm never going to leave. Like, it's like that's the kind of person I am. When the opportunity is presented to me, if I don't take it now, I'm not coming back for it. So, I felt like the urge or some whatever to like go and be someone else, do college outside of the state I've unfortunately primarily grown up in. And it's like, if I don't act on it, if I don't see it out or listen to myself and take the opportunity, I'm never going to. If I stay here and go to college here, then the train will just continue, and I'll continue to be like, well, then I should just start a career here. Well, I should just start a family here. Well, I should just blah, 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 blah. And, you know, my values, I don't 100% know. And I think that's fine. As a 17-year-old, I think that's fine. But I know the kind of person I would become if I stayed here. And I also think I would spend so many years of my life resenting myself for not moving and going. And the thing is, I think a lot of people see this, people being like my friends, primarily, maybe my family, see this as like a forever thing. Whereas I see it as a temporary thing. I see it as I'm moving, I'm going to college, I'm coming back on breaks 100%. Um and after my 4 years there, who knows? If I feel inclined to stay there, okay. If I feel inclined to come back home and take a year or find a job or do whatever, okay. If I feel inclined to move to a different another state, okay. Like, I just kind of want to go and do that, and it's such a weird process to be feeling, and it's just been a little overwhelming because I'm so content and I'm so happy and I'm so excited, and I'm scared, and I'm not gonna live with my parents anymore, and I'm not gonna be able to depend on anyone, and I'm gonna be an adult, and I'm gonna have to do this and that. And as many good things as you hear about college, you also hear like the bad and the stressful and the scary and the worst case scenario. And oh my gosh, like, what am I gonna do? But I think my sense of self and my trusting myself has become a lot more prominent recently. And like, I just have to go. Like, I just have to get out there and live and like do this. So that's just been another thing that's like been weighing on me recently of what what do I do? Um Another, I think, again, I haven't really talked to my other senior friends about this, but it's like finishing high school or getting close to finishing high school, a lot of things are coming like full circle moment for me. And I don't know if that's because I'm about to move or healing or I don't know, something else. But I've just had a lot of moments where I've spent a good amount of time in high school being like, high school's awful, high school sucks, my experience was awful, my like first 2 years were so bad, I hated this, I hated that, I hated this person, I hate that person, this person was awful to me, this person hurt me. And I'm getting to a point where I'm like, none of that matters. None of that matters. You know, these things that I held on to for so long happened to me, I feel like long ago, now that I look back at them and I'm like, cool, it shaped me as a person, it made me into who I am today. That's fine. Like, keep that to yourself. Like, you know, and at the beginning of my senior year, even, I was so angry. Like, I've gone on and on about, like, I started a podcast because I'm gonna make this episode when I graduate, and I'm just gonna out everybody who ever wronged me, and blah, 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 blah. And as much as it's like, it would be an experience to talk about those people or these things that happened to me, and it was awful, and it was such a crazy experience. None of that matters to me anymore. You know, I've reached a point personally recently that's like, why are you still holding on to it if it hurts you that badly? And maybe experiencing like the death of someone close to me has kind of put all that into perspective for me. There are so many more important things happening around me every single day that are not scenarios where I was the victim, you know? And I think I don't want to become someone with a victim mindset because I don't care for people who have a victim mindset. And I think I've tried very hard recently to snap out of that or be like, so what? This happened and it was awful and it was unfair and it hurt me. But now it's been 2 years. And are you just gonna keep sitting and looking back at it thinking, that's so awful, that's so awful, that's so... Hello, your grandpa just died. Hello, your mom just bought a new house. Hello, you just got into college. Like, you have to move in 2 months. Your best friend is doing this and that without you. It's like, I think it's hard when it's something so significant, and it's also something I didn't speak up about at the time that it happened. So now I feel partly that it's my responsibility to speak up now and be like, here's the truth, but nobody like, you're about to graduate. Hello, you're almost 18. Are these things that happened to you when you were a child going to matter? When it came time to write my personal essay for college, I think that's when it first hit me, like, I can't sit here and be like, when I was 15, when I was 14, when I was 13, I'm 17, I'm almost 18. I can't I can't be that to myself, for myself, anything. And frankly, it's just annoying. Like, I've realized how annoying it has become. And mostly just to me, not to other people. I don't know if my friends would ever call me out and say, like, please shut up about this. But it's just, when you catch yourself talking about the same things over and over again. Oh, I'm so hurt. Oh, I'm so sad. Oh, I'm so upset. And it's about the same 3 things that happened to you 2+ years ago. I've caught myself being like, I don't care. I don't know why I'm still talking about this when I personally do not care. I am currently, right now, a very emotionally stable enough to know what I'm doing with my life. I don't want to keep holding on to old things. And I say all this because maybe someone's watching, and out of like the 5 people who watch, maybe someone's watching and is like, holy shit, I need to break this cycle. Like, you know? And maybe other people are watching and they're like, I was waiting for the day you would realize that you need to shut up about this. Um, and you know, I've done things for myself that have justified. I don't know how to word this. I've I've done enough. I have done enough in relation to these things that hurt me. I think I have done enough for myself to move past them. I think the problem was I didn't see how bad it was at the time for me, and then I look back and I'm like, oh, well, since I didn't realize it was so bad then, and I know it's so bad now, I should just tell the whole world. And that's really not what's important. I think it's important. It was important for me to say, like, these things happened to me, but I don't think it's important for that to be my every conversation with people, my every thing. And I realized more and more, I think what broke me out of this mindset, honestly, is I was like, 2 things. When I go to college and meet new people and become friends with them, is my opening conversation starter really gonna be, here's my trauma from when I was 15? Here's my high school experience? No. I don't want it to be that. I don't want to meet someone who I think is cool and be like, oh, by the way, here are 5 horrible things I went through in high school that shaped me into the person I am today. No, I think I can just be the person that I am and not have to back it up. And not have to have like 5 pages of like supporting evidence of like, here's why I think I'm a good person. Like, nobody likes that person. Nobody likes people who do that. I don't like people who do that, so why would I be a person who does that? And the second thing that kind of broke me out of that is like, what would I do if I got into a friendship or relationship with someone and right off the bat I was like, kind of what I just said was like, by the way, I'm still upset about this and that, and here's why. Like, it's not something you should tell people, it's not something you should have to explain to people. Like, I've just kind of reached a point in my life where I'm done telling people. I'm done talking about it. Because personally, I think I have healed from it. And when you heal from something, you don't keep bringing it up. Because if you keep bringing it up, that's when you're like, oh shoot, maybe I am still upset. No, I'm not upset. And I think I was on the right track with that because, you know, I didn't want to force myself to get over anything too quickly because then it just like becomes more of a problem in my opinion. But it's just recently that it's like, again, like, death has really put everything into perspective for me. On like, you know, you're over here complaining about how hurt you are, and you spent 2 years of your life after that being upset about it and whining, and you didn't do anything about it. And now you look around and like someone close to you has died, and while you were whining and complaining, you could have been dealing with it, moving on, getting the proper help, talking about it, and spending more time with this person who is now gone. And it's like, I don't know, I think I just realized, like, is this like frontal lobe development? Sometimes I have a couple moments where I'm like, I swear I just felt my frontal lobe like develop a little bit. I swear I felt like a tingle in there, like, um, and it's, yeah, that's where I'm at on my healing journey. Healing journey, healing journey. Um, it's like I'm about to graduate. Why should things that happened to me in high school still matter to me when I leave high school? And I hope this mindset rubs off on people, please, because I don't really want to graduate with my senior friends and all of our conversations constantly be, do you remember when this teacher, do you remember when this person, do you remember when this blah blah blah? No, I want to tell you about my life. I want to tell you about college. I want to tell you about when I move. I want to call you and tell you about new friends. Like, I don't want the energy to like follow me around. And I think that starts with like, I have to let go of it. You have to let go of it. And I think something I've seen constantly my whole life is like, live in the moment, be present. But I don't think I understood what that means. And I don't know if I do. Um, be in the moment, live in the present. I'd just be like, okay, like, I'm sitting here staring at a wall. I'm so bored. I'm living in the moment. Nothing's happening in the moment. But it's really more in the sense of like, what do you have in your life right now that you're not appreciating enough? What friend do you have in your life right now who you love, but you know you don't talk to them enough? Like, do you have both your parents in your life? Do you have a good relationship with those two parents? Go. Speak to them. Hang out with them. Do something. If you don't have a good relationship with your parents, that's fine. That doesn't apply to you. But it's stuff like that. My siblings, oh my gosh. I wish I appreciated my siblings sooner. Honestly. Because I think it hit me my junior year. I'm leaving in 2 years. And I've spent so much time ignoring my siblings, resenting my siblings, wanting to spend time alone in my room, not relying on them, not talking to them. And now recently, I've just like, I spend so much, not so much, but I try to spend time with them. I try to take them out. We have like shows and movies that we watch together, food places we enjoy together, things we talk about together. My sister knocks on my door in the middle of the night and wants to come in and talk. I'm gonna let her. I refuse to sit around anymore and take these relationships for granted. And that's also just like oldest sibling guilt, I think. Um, I don't know if anyone else experiences that, but I definitely do, where it's like, I'm the oldest and I have so much responsibility and I don't want to spend time with them, and oh my gosh, but now I'm not spending time with them and they're gonna miss me and I'm not even gonna like, when I leave, do I want them to sit around and be like, thank God? Or do I want them to call me? Like, it's things like that. Same with friends. When I leave, do I want them to be like, oh well, we never spent any time together anyway? Or do I want them to text me and see when I'm coming home on break? You know? Like, it's another thing that death has really put into perspective for me is stop taking things for granted. When you have time to text or call your grandma, your grandpa, do it. When you have time to see them, mine don't live in the same state as me. When you have time to see them, or drive to their house, or go out to dinner with them, when your grandma randomly texts you and is like, can I take you shopping? Can we go see a movie? Tell me about your day. Which class is your favorite? Tell them. Like, speak to them. Because you'll look back in a year or so, I think, and be like, man, I wish I picked up the phone instead of ignoring her because I would have rather spent time alone in my room. I wish I answered that text. I wish I said yes when they asked if they could take me to dinner. You know? And I relate this to a lot of things in my life. I've been so afraid to, like, jump and like take a risk in life because I'm afraid of being rejected and hurt, but it's something that it's like I'm gonna look back in a year and be like, I wish I said this. I wish I did that. And I do not want that feeling in my life. I have had that feeling in my life for 2 years straight up, and I never want to feel it again. I never, ever, ever after this want to look back and be like, oh, I wish I did so much differently. Just do the things that you want to do now, with logic. If there's going to be some horrible consequences, maybe don't. Maybe don't break the law, but, just things like that. This video is coming up on like 40, oh my gosh, dude. 35 minutes-ish. It's just turned 31 minutes. I was like, it must be 40 minutes. That's not how time works. But, yeah, this isn't a super crazy, I was about to say this isn't a super crazy in-depth video, but then I just told you, like, a lot. That's just where I've been and what I've been thinking about for the past few months that I've been dealing with death and grief and feelings and being overwhelmed and college and all that. And yeah, I don't like to share things on the internet, and then I just share all that. But it's okay because I hope that it's helpful to at least like one person or like one group of people or something like that. Isn't that the hope of everything? I have work, and I finally set up a standard like bedtime routine for myself because when I don't have a routine for something, oh, I get so thrown off. I get so thrown off. I was adamant. Like, I hate routines. I don't want to feel trapped. I feel so stuck. But when I don't have a routine, that's when I like spiral out. I'm like, what am I even doing? There's no point in like doing this or that. Like, so I finally like wrote down in my notes app, like, get home, eat, shower, skincare, hair care, brush teeth, watch show or movie. Like, like stuff like, you know, because I do have to be up early tomorrow. Oh my gosh, like this is your sign not to do a morning off period and then an afternoon off period. Do 2 morning off periods or 2 afternoon. Don't do the flipping ones because some days I have an early class and some days I don't. And the days I have an early class, it's really great once I get there. But the journey to get there, the waking up, it's not ideal for me. I'm just not a morning person, but that's my piece on everything. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. Like, subscribe, share. JK. Alright. Thank you so much. Proceed in life and just be normal.